Breaking news, Child on Bhai is coming to an end.
I felt just that lack of focus, direction. I just want to help people come back to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
A lot of projects have died. 5-star Umrah, Umrah with the Mandem, matting in the Masjid, Da'wah Man, the whole persona died, and now we're saying that Child on Bhai. And by the way, Naseeha sessions also are both.
Yes, the last time you're going to see an episode come out on the sessions.
How did you get to this point?
There's a good brother here who gave me a beautiful advice. Everyone stick to one thing, perfect one thing. If you do one thing great and Allah Azza wa Jalla use that to be a means to guide people through you, then the rest is history. I want to focus on helping people become righteous and becoming rich.
Why?
I want to build Masjid. We will not be stopping da'wah. Monday will be purely business. If you're not making 7 figures, you log on Monday and you watch Righteous and Rich, you're going to learn. But Thursdays, it's going to be deen, tawheed, the salah, zakat, stories of the prophets, hijab. Because these people that we want to become rich also need righteousness. People already know what they need to do. You just need to help them form healthy habits. I might every Monday just, pull up in a blazer.
I can't lie. I would not rate it if you put up in a suit.
I don't rate that you won't put up in a suit for them.
And we also plan, we've got something cooking in the background.
Yeah, we do.
We told them, or should we just tease them? Should we whisper to them?
For 10 years, I've held back sharing my true self with you guys. It's now that I've realized that that wasn't something that was good to do. But now I've decided to open up a lot more and share with you my real life, raw experiences. I'm going to be sharing insights with you with regards to my marriage, with regards to my businesses, my seeking knowledge, my friendships, my ups and downs, smiles and frowns, the betrayals that I've seen, what life in Dubai is like. I have just one request from you. If this is something that you'd like to see more of, click the subscribe button. The way that we will measure whether this is something that you guys want and are benefiting from is if that subscribe button is clicked and those numbers go up. If not, then we know that you guys want something else and we'll redirect and change course. So click that subscribe button. With that said, let's get back into the podcast and hopefully you guys are going to get some value, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to another episode of Chai with my Bhai, where we help you excel in your deen and your dunya. Some of you may have seen in the title or in the thumbnail, or you heard it, your friend told you, breaking news, Chai with my Bhai is coming to an end.
Dead.
Many reasons why. We're going to go into some of them on this podcast. I know it's going to be a big shock to all of you. And hopefully in this episode, you're going to get a little bit of an understanding as to why we've decided to end it. And hopefully, inshallah, you'll also be on board with the new direction that we're going to be going in. So with that said, Imran, recently, a lot of projects have died. We had 5-star Umrah, Umrah with the Mandem, and matting in the Masjid. We had Da'wah Man, the whole persona died. And now we're saying that Child on Bhai. And by the way, Naseeha sessions also are both.
Yes, the last time you're going to see
on death row.
An episode come out on the sessions.
Death row.
Death row.
Why? Judge, jury, executioner.
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. So, I felt like there was too much going on and not really any real direction. I just want to help people come back to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that I've always done, any project I ever opened, whether it be Sunnah Match, whether it be Knowledge College, whether it be Matting in the Masjid, Umrah with the Mandem, whether it be Brothers Club, Umrah Sarab, Akhi, I always want people to come back to the deen of Allah, whether it be so you can fix your finances, so you can pray in the masjid, whether it be so you can find a wife and a halal way, so you don't have to do zina, whether it be so you can just purely come to the masjid and pray and seek knowledge. It was always about helping people come back to the deen of Allah.
I was Child on Bhai not fulfilling that goal?
It was one of those projects, absolutely. But the thing is that I found...
Sorry, it was filling the goal or it wasn't?
It was.
Yeah,
alhamdulillah. Anything that I've ever put my name on with Allah's permission was always to help people come back to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I felt just that lack of focus and direction. And part of it I'm to blame because I've always just got ideas and I always want to try and do this khair and that khair. Like I remember if you asked me a couple of years ago, Imran, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do a project for like giving doubt to kuffar. I have a project for new Muslims. I want to do a project for people who are suffering from jinn and need ruqya. I want to do a project for, this and this and this and this guys in the streets and the girls in the clubs and blah, just endless. Like I've got project after project after project. And truth be told, Akhi, there's a good brother here, mashallah, I met, and he gave me a beautiful advice. He said, Imran, stick to one thing. Perfect one thing. And if you do one thing great, and Allah Azza wa Jalla use that to be a means to guide people through you, then, the rest is history. But in doing so many different things, you can't do all of them to perfection. You can't, you struggle to juggle all of them. So I decided that I want focus now. And my focus is that I want to focus on helping people become righteous and becoming rich. for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa
What
ta'ala.
was the journey from the day you started giving da'wah to reaching this realization and this focus? How did you get to this point?
So when it comes to, so truth be told, I'm a businessman, right? I've been a businessman for over a decade. And in business, what do you think? You think about getting involved in the investment that's going to bring about the greatest profit, right? You want to get involved in the venture, not necessarily investment, but you want to put your hands in a venture that's going to bring about the greatest return, the highest ROI. Although in da'wah, we don't necessarily look to seek results, but results are a blessing from Allah if they come, right? So you want to position yourself in a place where you can get the highest possible deeds. So when I ask myself, when it comes to giving da'wah, where should I place my emphasis and my focus? I found that the place to put my emphasis and my focus was to focus on people that are wealthy. And if they're not wealthy, inspire Muslims to become wealthy, but for the right reasons. And the reason for that is because wealth is a tool. It's like a knife. If you put it in the hands of one man who will use it to spread butter, you put it in the hands of another man who uses it to stab someone. Wealth is like that. If you put it in the hands of a fajir, fasiq, a sinner, an evil person, an innovator, who use that wealth to create fasad, corruption. But if you place that wealth in the hands of a person who's righteous, who build masajid, madrasas, who take care of the orphans, and so on and so forth.
An example I like to give from personal experience is that wealth is like water. It's neither good nor bad in and of itself. Like I remember we went to Pakistan, right, on a trip because it was like in a certain desert area where they hadn't seen any rain or any water for I don't know how long. And then the brothers at Humanity Care Relief set up some wells and orphans, and we went there to help them out, etc. And these people were dying for water, right? We came back literally a month or two later, some of the worst floods to ever hit Pakistan. Here, there was a lack of water. Here, there was an excess of water. Here, the lack of water was the problem. Here, the excess water was the problem. The point being, water itself is not bad. But in certain situations, not having it can be bad. And in certain situations, having too much of it can also be bad. Even if I'm not mistaken, even though you're made of 70% water, if you drink too much water, apparently you can die. The point is, that's what wealth is like.
Yeah, so I found that if you can place the hand in the hands of the wealth, that wealth in the hands of the wealthy, bro, you can get some crazy good deeds. Because one of the things that I want to do, and one of the reasons I really started to focus on business myself, I want to build masajid. Like, as in, I'm sick. I got sick and tired of working with masajid that would then.
Why?
Well, I've told the story a couple of times. There was one masjid that I started off working with, and I gave all my time, my effort, my resources to it. Kids just started practicing and everything, and then the masjid started to end things. And it wasn't because they had an issue with me or my da'wah. They had their own personal agendas and they wanted control of everything. And they just locked off all of the da'wah activities. Those same kids today, one of them got murdered. One of them got a girl pregnant. One of them works in a bank doing riba. One of them started selling drugs. By the way, their parents and their fathers, many of them who I've just mentioned, were either trustees or committee members, were always in the masjid. Do you understand? So when they locked off that project, imagine how I felt, akhi, that you locked off a project and then I hear a couple of years later, one of those kids, akhi, I kept him in my yard for 2 months, 2 weeks.
You feel like it could have been avoided. Obviously, only Allah knows the guidance is in Allah's hands, but you feel like you could have potentially avoided some of that and put them on the straight path.
And can you imagine just the feeling of, but this is your doing, like you masjid, like you like, as in when you lock off a project, look at the consequences that take place. And although there have been masajid that showed me a lot of ihsan, a lot of khair, and a lot of da'wah happened, and may Allah Azza wa Jalla all those masajid, the people behind it, I mean. But akhi, a masjid, generally speaking, is only as good as the committee behind it. Some of those same masajid that open doors for us today, once upon a time, may not today, because the committee members have changed. A guy with different manhaj is in there now. Or a guy, or like, akhi, I was shocked. One particular masjid that invited me, that I used to go and do a lot of khair in, invited me recently for an event, and it was advertised with a DJ. And I had to cancel, right? Because, again, circumstances change. So at the end of the day, you can build a masjid, but if you're not running the masjid yourself, subhanallah, man, only a matter of time until something happens, because it's never in your control, right? So I was like, okay, cool. I then want to build my own masjid, one that we don't have to rely upon donations from community members and have to go by charity commission rules and all these other regulations. We do in this masjid that which is going to be pleasing to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we run it in a way that's according to deen and sharia and ilm. And I can't do that without money though. Do you understand? I can't do that without money. So that's why I came on this trajectory. And then I realized, okay, cool, well, I can do that with money. But what the guys already have money? What if we give that out to them? Which is why, and I don't want people to misunderstand. Because someone say, oh, I want to help people become righteous and rich. I want you to have no confusion.
Righteous is the
most important part.
primary, and that's why it comes first.
Which is why we will not be stopping da'wah. Which is why that, even though now Child Mobile is going to be replaced by Righteous and Rich, it's going to be 2 episodes that come out every week. Yes, Monday, as it is right now, will be purely business. Thursday, which is...
It's funny, even so we say purely business, there's always the element of deen that comes into it.
100%.
Like,
yeah.
it's always, sometimes if you ask certain people, they'll probably say, rather, I thought this was a religious episode.
Yeah.
They didn't realize we were talking about business, even though there's a heavy element.
Right.
Focus on business.
And Thursdays now, it's going to be deen. Like, Child Mobile sometimes kind of... It's like, well, what is the
Sometimes
podcast
it's deen, sometimes it's business, sometimes it's family,
Relationships.
sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's this.
No, straight deen. And inshallah ta'ala, you still get the little flavor of us. That we are funny guys, and I guess we have nice personalities. You still see the vibe, right? But the topics are going to be more deen. Aqidah, Tawheed, Ibadah, Salah, Zakat, how do you pray, good manners, Day of Judgment, the stories of the prophets, maybe benefits from certain surahs, hijab, rights of the parents, deen, stuff that you need. Because these people that we want to become rich also need righteousness. And the ones who are righteous, we want them to become rich. So there you have it. Every Monday, pure business, right? In fact, before Righteous and Rich has kind of been like stories. If you log on to Righteous and Rich, you're going to learn myself and Abu Bakr sharing frameworks that we use to scale our businesses to $3 million plus in just a few years. So there's going to be more focus there. And if you log on any day to Righteous and Rich on Thursday, you're going to see, you're not just going to see like waffle and kalam. No, you're going to see deen, right? You're going to walk away from every episode. I learned how to do my wudu. Okay, I learned about this name of Allah. I learned the meanings of this surah. Okay, I learned about this issue in aqidah. I learned about this issue in manhaj. I learned about this particular thing in my deen, right? I learned about this story in the life of the Prophet ﷺ and the lessons that I can take from it. So that will take place. The righteousness is going to be there, but the rich also. And that's what I focus on. My goal is, as I said, in the next few years to bring about 1 million righteous and rich millionaires that are going to serve this deen of Allah. And Allah is the one who's going to bring them about. And I'm here taking the means. I said, not that I'm going to bring them about. Allah brings them about. Rizq is from Allah. But I'm going to take the means towards that goal, inshallah.
Inshallah. And we also plan, we've got something cooking in the background.
Yeah, we do.
We told them, or should we just tease them? Should we whisper to them?
Pardon the interruption, but in case you ever wanted to move to Dubai, I've got something very special for you. As you may be aware, myself and Abu Bakr moved to Dubai and Sharjah last year. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made for our deen, our families, and our businesses. Living here is amazing. You've got a masjid in almost every single street, unparalleled safety and security. You've got lessons from mashayikh and different teachers and students of knowledge in English and Arabic, and no income tax. Now, how do you move here? That's a question that you might be asking. Well, it can be tough if you don't know your way around things. Sometimes the companies that help you get visas here, they got hidden fees, long waits, big problems, resulting in visa rejections, a lot of wasted money and time. This is where Ansar Consultants comes into play. They helped us set up everything. No hidden fees, no long waits. They kept it simple and honest. I got my visa in less than a month. And these guys have a 100% track record helping brothers get their visa so far. 100% track record. That's insane. Allahumma barik. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the UAE, I recommend Ansar Consultants. They can even help you invest in properties here with a 100% Sharia compliant contract. So if you want a smooth move like we did, click the link below and check out Ansar Consultants. Now, back to the podcast. Yeah, I mean, look, we have a project, like I said,
to help us achieve that goal of 1,000 righteous millionaires.
Yes. So every Monday we're going to be giving you guys stuff.
Business game.
Take it, right?
Free.
Take it. And by the way, a lot of that stuff from business that I don't know is what I used to get the masajid filled with Allah's permission. Some people are like, bruh, how'd you fill up the masjid? Obviously, tawfiq from Allah, and it's from Allah and Allah guides whom it is that He wills. But we've got to take the means, right? So there was definitely intent behind the way we were marketing and promoting. There was intent, right? So that and the businesses that we've done speak volumes for the fact that we know what we're talking about here, and the many people that we've helped scale theirs, right? Alhamdulillah. So look, on the Mondays, you're going to get that. But if you guys want something extra, this is going to be for people that already have businesses set up. And specifically what we are looking to focus on is people that are course creators who sell courses online. or they are coaches, consultants, or they have their own communities, we've got something special for them, inshallah. And we're going to be showing them, if they want more access to myself and yourself, how they can scale to 7 figures.
Inshallah.
For everyone else, start. That's free. It's free for you. Start. Log on any Monday. You're going to learn. And even if you already got stuff that's running, you're going to benefit from that Monday stuff anyway, inshallah. If you're not on 7 figures, if you're not making 7 figures, you log on Monday and you watch Righteous and Rich, you're going to learn. Do you understand? You're going to learn, inshallah ta'ala. And like I said, if you want that next level, to keep an eye out and watch this space. We've got something special coming very soon, inshallah ta'ala. It will be something that is a paid for service,
No
right?
doubt.
But they'll get extra access to myself and yourself and our team to help them scale their courses or their coaching or consultancy or communities to what? 7 figures, inshallah ta'ala. And then Thursday, man, it's just going to be deen. I'm actually excited because it's going to go back to like,
The
deen,
roots.
the roots, yeah. Roots, deen, manhaj, right? It's going to be in conversation form, like a podcast is, but it's going to be like, why you should pray in the masjid. And our objective would be at the end of that episode to make sure you're praying in the masjid. Why you should be behind music. Why you should,
Lessons and benefits from Surah to Yusuf.
let's make that the first one.
Because that was mentioned again and again
Yeah.
and again and again on Righteous and Rich.
Why should you study Surah Yusuf, right? That could be the first episode. Why should you study Surah Yusuf? You know how the last time I went, the one on manhaj? The issue of like da'wah and this, that. I like that, which is, let's talk about issue in deen.
With real life examples and practical.
Right, and we want people to, we want at the end of this podcast for them to achieve a goal. And we're just going through the layman's perspective, his thought process and obstacles that you might come across to show them how at the end of that podcast, you're doing this. So if we do a podcast, for example, on salah, you should pray your salah in the masjid. At the end of that hour, the guy should be praying his salah in the masjid. He should be like, okay, I'm done. Right? If we, for example...
Why you should leave your haram job. Like if you've got riba or this and that, just go through the entire process.
Yeah.
Allah is ar-Razzaq. This is what Allah has promised. This is what he said. And by the end of it, the harms that come from sins and business and
one of the things that recently, alhamdulillah, over the last, well, actually over a decade, one of the things that I've been really, really obsessed about is self-improvement and productivity and efficiency and doing things better and faster. I feel like I've got to an optimum stage in my life, alhamdulillah, with that. And I've got way more to go, but I feel like I'm in a better place than I've ever been before. So I use a lot of that stuff in my da'wah now as well. Like there was one brother, I had a call with him, and he was like, bro, I miss prayers. And he was a guy who taught in madrasa. So you ask me, do I need to tell this guy that salah is wajib and that you're going to go to hell if you don't pray? Like he already knows. He already knows. Like he's teaching in madrasa and he's telling me and he understands. If you don't pray salah, you go to hell. But he's still not able to pray. So I said, okay, cool, let me take a bit of a different approach. So we looked into how to create positive habits and how to remove the friction from doing the khair and increase friction in not praying. So I went through a couple of things with him. Like for example, what is above me on the scope of right now? The point is that sometimes that people already know what they need to do. You just need to help them form healthy habits. So you're going to get some of that as well. Inshallah ta'ala, right? But
then of course, they've also got your personal channel, Imran ibn Mansur, my personal channel, Bakr ibn Musafir. What are you going to be focusing on your channel?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, you might have the odd thing about marriage advice. I've always just wanted to help people when it comes to marriage and relationships because I feel like I know so much about that, and I've seen the struggle that people go through with that. But you got to pick. I came across this statement. It was interesting. You've got to. I don't like the way it's worded, but the point is, I understand his point because it was from a kafir, so it's not perfect. He goes, you got to pick your regrets. You got to pick your regrets. So I may regret that I didn't go in and focus helping people fix their relationships and this and that. I may regret not working with the guys on the streets anymore, but I left it for something.
Can't have everything basically.
But I would rather regret that than regret not building Masjid, not seeing 1,000 Muslims that are on the Sunnah, that are millionaires, that are using their wealth for the deen of Allah.
Of course. And of course, if you're into business, with an element of hijrah, some supercars sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And you got my channel as well, Bakr ibn Musafir.
All that's going to change is that we're just going to become a little bit more focused. We're not going anywhere. We're still here. But we're just going to become more focused. And I'm conscious that this won't serve everyone. And I'm conscious that the views will probably drop. And I'm conscious that, but you know what? I believe the benefit though for the ones who remain will be magnified, and I'm happy with that. Because it's always been about quality over quantity. It's not about numbers, never has been. It's always been about quality over quantity.
Making an impact on the ummah as well.
That's what it is. Like I'll give you an example of this. There's one particular sheikh that I studied Shafi'i fiqh with. And we used to study with him during COVID online, alhamdulillah. And he used to upload the lessons to YouTube. And the videos would get like 60, 70, 80 views. But people didn't realize. And one day I just laughed to myself and I was like, from these 60, 70, 80 views, at least 10 of them are some of the biggest figureheads in the da'wah that are watching this stuff. Right? Not that I consider myself one of the biggest figureheads in the da'wah, but I was involved in the da'wah in a substantial capacity. I was one of them. And the many of your teachers and that you look up to. But how many views was he getting? 70, 80. But those 70, 80 views were, and the ones that I knew, just like 10 in the UK. Do you understand? You had guys in Canada. That it's not about the numbers. It's about the impact. If you're sincere, that impact goes far and wide. So that's the goal now, man. This channel is going to be called the Righteous and Rich channel. Everything's going to be righteous and rich, inshallah. I'm going to be wearing a righteous and rich hat soon. I'm probably going to have righteous and rich hoodies. There's going to be righteous and rich mugs over here. You're going to have righteous and rich retreats, righteous rides if you want to come on the supercar road trip that we have, right? Networking opportunities, online, this, that.
Real question is there going to be a righteous thobe? Righteous thobes?
I don't know, but I'm thinking of buying a suit. So there might be a righteous suit. I might every Monday just, pull up in a blazer.
You'll take a shot.
You know what I'm saying? And Thursday, just so Thursday, though, da'wah, deen, talab al-ilm. Monday, righteous, though.
I can't lie. I would not rate it if you put up in a suit.
I don't care if you don't rate it. I'll put up in a suit anyway.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that. That's subhanAllah. Thought of it's giving me. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't rate that you won't put up in a suit furthermore.
That's fine with me. With that said, hopefully you guys benefited from this episode, and we'll see you next week on the next episode of The Righteous and the Rich. Or rather, just Righteous and Rich. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.